I don't really want to waste your time today, so I'm just going to keep this video short and to the point. I wasn't originally going to make this video because I think that the information here is kind of common sense for the Monster Hunter community, but then I realized that I was actually being a bit condescending, because me, being a creator who covers the game regularly, my common knowledge will probably differ from the people that play Monster Hunter more casually. After all, why would Jim Bob over here finish school or work and come home to try and waste his time looking for information when he could just be having fun, working out, and getting on with his day, right? And that's where I come in. Jim Bob over here just so happens to be a part of one of the best gaming communities out there, with an array of creators willing to cover all the little neats and deets so that you don't have to go looking for them. Let's start off with some good news, covering the first thing, which is the dates. There's going to be more time to spend with the second beta this time around, and there will be split into 2 different intervals. What I mean by this is that we're going to get starting first, take a break for a few days, and then there's going to be more days to play the second beta. I'm not going to narrate this for you. I'm pretty sure you know how to read, so just grab a screenshot of this and make sure you apply the time zone to your time zone, okay? Second bit of good news is that the character transfer is going to be a thing, so the character that you create here will actually be able to be ported over to the final game, so that when the game finally drops later in February, you can just get into it. You don't have to waste time making your character or your palico. But what's also worth noting is that your character progression will not be going over to the new actual game. This means that the way your character looks will be there, but the character materials and, you know, all the monsters that you hunted, like if you hunted 500 Raydaus, that stuff is not going to transfer over, only the way your character and your palico look. Another really noticeable thing about this beta is that we're going to have 2 new monsters, one of which is a returning monster from 4U, I believe. It's a Gypsaros. He's a cool bird. He's going to be a fun fight. The second monster is still a mystery as of the making of this video. Maybe it won't be announced until we actually get our hands on the beta, but I'm just going to say this now. Please, Capcom, do not put Arkveld in there. I know you've done it with flagships before, like you put Nergiganting in World's demo, and then you also put Magnamalo in Rise's demo. Don't do it with Arkveld. I really just want him to stay a secret. I want to see him when the game is actually finalized. Maybe you, watching this video, disagree. Maybe you want to see Arkveld right away. I personally don't, but hey, agree to disagree if that's the case. Performance has been a hot topic with an even potential benchmark tool coming up, but they haven't really elaborated on the benchmark tool for PC players, so we don't really know what's going on there. In terms of performance though, they have stated that the PS5 performance has been drastically enhanced, and that the PC performance has also been drastically enhanced. However, in the PC side of things, they're even saying that the minimum requirements could be lower than what they posted before, so that's pretty neat. However, this is where the bad news kick in, and yes, I am using the term bad news very loosely here. It does not mean that this will be a bad open beta by any stretch of the imagination. Just hear me out. None of the performance buffs that I just mentioned are going to be present within the build for the second beta. In the first beta, a lot of people on PC specifically were complaining that performance was still not silky smooth. Even people with really high-end PCs were still struggling to get, stable 60 frames, and that's perfectly valid. I'm just saying that in case you've upgraded your PC like myself, I went from a 3070 to a 4070 Ti, but I'm not gonna see any major improvements at all, right? And that's probably one of the biggest things, because people might have upgraded their setup. They might be expecting to see, oh no, this is the time where I'm really gonna see if my PC can handle wilds well. And I don't think it's going to be that, guys. I'm just going to be real. It's going to be very similar to the first open beta, where optimization is still not at its best. So if you are going to play the second beta with the intention of stress testing your PC, seeing how well it's going to do, I'm sorry, it's still not going to be a finalized version of the game. So very likely what's happening here is that you're seeing a worst version of it, and further on, just like the devs have mentioned, PS5 and PC are going to be looking way better in terms of performance, okay? But not in this beta. Another not so positive thing is the fact that a lot of weapon changes have not been put into the second beta as well. Once again, just let me refer to the community update that they had like a month ago, where they mentioned that, you know, Swax got a bunch of buffs, SNS got a bunch of buffs, Insectglaive got a bunch of buffs and new moves, and so did Lance. But none of this, and I mean none of it, should be showing up on the second beta, okay? I'm gonna be completely honest, the fact that the SNS is going to be a bit meh, just like it was in the first open beta, does not leave a smile on my face, but, you know, they did say that they're going to buff the SNS and they're going to fix all the problems, and you know what, I trust Capcom, I trust the Monster Hunter team more specifically, so I'm not gonna stress over it. I was also really excited to try out some new Swax and Lance buffs, but it seems like, again, this stuff is not gonna be on the second beta, so we're just gonna have to wait until the full game releases to you have a glimpse of it. The overall point of this beta is not to, you know, go out crazy and test everything. It's more so, hey, did you miss on the first beta? Okay, here's a second one with 2 new monsters, have fun. The fact that we have stuff like the character transferring over to the full game, it's more of a bonus, and we get like this cute little pendant as well for playing on the beta for your sacred, but that's really about it. Overall, I think it's wonderful for Capcom to do something like this for its players. I think that it's not something that every developer would do. The Monster Hunter team is clearly very passionate about their game. They show it again and again and again. Plus, it takes balls to show your game off to the world saying, hey, it's not complete, but we think it's fun and we hope that you're gonna have a good time before the full release. But at this point, I'm gonna say that it would be nice to get another community update because we likely won't be getting another demo. I mean, this demo is early February. The game releases at the end of February, so it's like the timestamps just don't make sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do go out and make like a fully fledged demo like a week before the game releases. I mean, anything is game at this point. I just don't think it's likely. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Here's all the news that you needed to know about the open beta. I hope I didn't miss anything, but if I did, guys, you know the drill. Correct me in the comments. You guys have also been informed. I sometimes just miss things out. I will be making some type of content during the second beta. I would love to do a community stream where we play together because, you know, why not? It sounds very fun. So stay tuned for that if you're interested, if you want to play here with your good old friendly knight. And, but yeah, that's going to be everything from me. Stay safe, and until we meet again.